Good morning. It's a very messy day out here. Super high winds and pretty heavy rain here and there. But I just wanted to show you a new spot I found. This is what really good moose habitat looks like. I haven't found much of this around here, but I just want to point a few things out. First, just look at the density of foliage that maxes out at like 8 feet, like these 8 feet, but everything else, beautiful fresh maples. Such a great food source for moose. These guys are a great height as well. And what is not common in my area is a cut that's maneuverable. Can't get the calories very easily without traveling through the nastiest stuff and exerting the most effort and just completely burning all of your energy. So this cut was done a couple of years ago and it's regenerating very nicely. It's just interesting to see how fast cuts will regenerate. But I've already seen a little bit of brow sign. So it's another thing too, is once you get into some country like this, you want to look for some brow sign. If you're here earlier in the summer, like I am, you want to find previous year's brow sign, which like just little hints of it, just little hints. There's on a maple, their favorite around here. There's not much maple around here either. There is and there isn't. It can be tough to find in these cuts though, because a lot of these cuts in this area are being done to protect these fire-resistant species, and red maples kind of prevent that from really thriving. So that definitely is a struggle. But yeah, I'm just in some great woods right here. Here's some more sign on the oaks. Can't tell if it's, some of it looks like it could have been this past winter. Again, it's just really young forest. You see that brow sign that's, up to your own head. That's how you know too it's moose, and you can exclude deer. Although deer browse in slightly different ways than moose. So I have a cell cam with me and trying to find a good spot to place it. This is definitely where the bulk of the food source is. This is a really large select cut, and select meaning they selected for the regeneration of certain species and left certain old growth species alone. And I know that they were interested in leaving the white pines alone and helping some regen of many different species, just to create this really diverse young forest. We have a lot of small oaks in here. These are some cold polypores. Variety of oaks. I think I've seen sugar maples and red maples. I think I've seen silver maples. I could be wrong though. But this is a really good area to be in because they have been doing forestry work in here for 20 plus years. That's what I hear. So there's so much diversity in not even the species that are around, but just the forest type and age. You get these really young growth forests, and then nearby you get slightly older, and it just increasingly gets older as you go. And all of that contributes to, moose finding the food, finding the cover. See slight signs like this. This one's like up to my neck. It's moose, clearly moose. So I imagine they'll be in here pretty heavily at some point because there's just such an abundance of food. I haven't seen it like this. I only know of a couple other cuts that really get this nice, and I don't spend time over there, so it's just these beautiful maples. Beautiful. You know, someone touched that, but not much going on. There's a reason these plants are growing wider than taller, and that's because something's preventing them from getting that old. And it starts with the forestry, but then quickly these plants are in a position to grow right back up to their mature, expected phenotype. And at that point, when that happens, that's when the moose come in. They say, nope, not happening. Also, this is just great because I'm not running into thorns, which I'm very used to around here. Yeah, look at this. Really good country. Absolutely gorgeous in here, that's for sure. Still to this day, I think this is my favorite cut in this area. Anyway, you get the idea. That tree right there, I think, is in a good spot where so many different paths merge, and there's a slight opening to hopefully give me more of an idea of what's going on in here. If I can't get a good opening there, I'll get just as good as a setup right here. Again, it's just, how can I find the most merging? This could be good too, because I did notice there's a little stream that runs back here. So if they're needing that water, that drink during the day, and the feed during the night, they'd probably be moving back and forth, and not just moose, but all sorts of species. So, that's one of the challenges, is being out here, finding a good tree to put a cam on. But if I can do that, I would be thrilled. So, give me some time to figure this out. I think I might have to get this tree out of the way if I can, and see where to go from here. In the meantime, I'm just going to walk around and document some of the plant species in here so I can get a better understanding of what's being browsed when the time comes. So yeah, anyway, that's really it. It's nice, young, regenerating forest. It's good moose habitat.